Coming up on Wavelength, water measurement testing in the rice fields begins this summer. Grow for It is a big success with LCRA wholesale customers, and 301 LCRA employees reach new employment milestones. Those stories and more next on Wavelength.
From the Lower Colorado River Authority, this is Wavelength.
Hi everybody and welcome to Wavelength. Reducing the huge amount of water used each summer by rice growers has become a top priority for LCRA. This agency has been down in the rice fields over the past few years, cleaning out and shaping up the canals that carry the water, helping rice farmers develop on-farm water conservation techniques, introducing them to better strains of rice. As a result, water use in the rice fields has been reduced by an estimated 30,000 acre-feet in each of the past 2 years. Now LCRA is about to begin another major water conservation initiative, water measurement. In 1986, LCRA began the job of cleaning out about 300 miles of canals that deliver water to the rice fields. It's a big job that will take several more years to finish, but water savings already have been substantial. Thick vegetation like this in the canals can soak up as much as 20% of the water before it ever reaches the rice fields. No one knows that better than the rice growers themselves.
Some of the willow trees down here, they can drink as much water off the canals as 1,000 acres of rice.
In addition, clean canals allow the water to move more evenly and more reliably.
Now we're getting a steadier stream of water, so we don't have to have a worry about volume so much as we can handle it better.
Now this summer, testing begins on a water measurement program. Water flows to each rice field through structures like this called water boxes. The water boxes are being upgraded and calibrated to allow for a fairly precise measurement of the amount of water going through each device. In addition, other measuring devices will be installed along the major canals that feed groups of farms to monitor how much water the system as a whole is using. This summer, water measurement will be applied to about 10 to 15% of the rice acreage planted.
The biggest consideration for the Ag Water Measurement Project is going to be the economics, going from this test phase into a full-scale implementation phase. We're dealing with 5,000 acres on the system now. If we go to a full-scale operation, can we economically put a full-scale water measurement project into place for 30 to 38,000 acres?
Water measurement will be another tool for helping rice growers cut their water use, mainly because once they know how much water it takes to cover a field, then only that amount will be delivered. Currently, the flooding of fields is done visually, which often results in an over-release of water.
The conservation potential is huge. We're talking probably a magnitude of water greater than the city of Austin is using in a year that we can save and still maintain a very viable rice industry, which is really our primary goal.
Well, if it'll conserve water, that'll be good. If it'll make us conserve enough water to pay for all the cost of putting it in.
Well, you're going to have to conserve it somewhere, because it looks like if we don't conserve it down here and it looks like we're wasting too much, then the people in Austin or further up the river is going to say we're wasting all the water, and then they're not going to let us have it for farming.
.301 LCRA employees were recognized recently for reaching new service milestones. This annual event recognizes those with 5, 10, 15, or 20 years service with LCRA, and this was the largest group ever honored at a service awards banquet. The average LCRA employee now has 8 years of service. And Board Chairman Jim Garrison told the group he feels LCRA has the best employees of any state agency in Texas.
Grow For It, LCRA's campaign to plant 100,000 trees over 5 years throughout Central Texas, has been a big hit with our wholesale customers and their customers. Virtually all of LCRA's 44 wholesale customers sponsored Grow For It distributions, like this one in the city of Georgetown. LCRA has handed out about 20,000 trees this spring through the program. The response has been especially favorable to the variety of trees available.
The Chinese pistache has been very popular. It's a tree I don't think we have very much of in Georgetown, and they're very excited to get this new tree. And the bur oak is, of course, our massive, beautiful oak. So we have a lot of enthusiasts that love the oak.
The board honored our 15 LCRA linemen who went to the Virgin Islands this fall to help repair damage to the electric system there caused by Hurricane Hugo. LCRA joined a half-dozen other utilities, including the city of Austin, to supply both men and equipment to the rebuilding effort. Our crew spent about 9 weeks there, working 14-hour days, 6 days a week. Both the men and LCRA received certificates of appreciation from the Texas Public Power Association.
As this wavelength went to the editing machines, preparations were accelerating for the April 7th Tom Miller Dam 50th birthday celebration. Hydro crews from all of the dams have been working almost around the clock, cleaning, painting, and getting the facilities ready for the big event. The afternoon celebration is designed to show off the dam and LCRA and its programs, while providing lots of activities and live entertainment for the entire family. One of the headline groups performing is Esther's Follies, with skits prepared especially for the event.
She's right, it's the ghost of Tom Miller.
We just had to know.
You should have thought of that before you left the house.
He's a lot like you, Dad.
You can't pollute my river, the beautiful Colorado River.
With the increasing environmental and supply problems associated with the burning of fossil fuels to run our factories, provide electricity, and power our cars, why isn't solar technology farther along? That was a question being asked at the Solar 90 National Conference held recently in Austin. And one of those asking the question was LCRA General Manager David Freeman, who delivered the opening session keynote address.
Historians in the future may wonder why this high-energy civilization of ours failed to pursue the obvious. They may wonder why the scientists and technicians chose to drill into the depths of the earth, to split the atom, to ravage so much of the earth and foul the air, rather than concentrating on harnessing the solar power which is delivered free of charge to the earth's surface. The answer may be that modern civilization is so smart that it is dumb. We choose to pursue the most technologically challenging path, such as the 40-year unsuccessful effort to perfect fusion power, rather than capturing the solar power that reaches the roofs of our homes without any effort by mankind. We seem to want to keep climbing technological Mount Everest, rather than doing the much simpler engineering needed to put to use the solar energy that nature has invented for us.
This solar power plant, located in California's Mojave Desert, is producing electricity at a cost of about 8 cents per kilowatt hour, a cost only slightly above electricity generated by conventional fuels.
But what is needed to achieve a solar breakthrough is not so much a breakthrough in the laboratory, it's not so much subsidies for solar power, but a fair assessment of pollution taxes to internalize the real cost to society of using fossil fuels and nuclear. If we could just get a level playing field. All we need is a level playing field and we will win. It reminds me of a true story of the governor of Tennessee who wanted to get the General Motors Saturn plant in his state, and he went up at a dinner to the president of General Motors and said, well, your competitor is Nissan. They're located right there in Tennessee. You come to Tennessee right next door and we'll give you a level playing field and you can see if you can beat them. Well, we ought to make the same proposition to the other sources of energy. Let's get the subsidies out of your system. Let's get a fair assessment of the pollution that you inflict upon society and put a tax on that, and then we can just beat the hell out of them because we do have a better product.
Freeman says Texas, which has been a leader in advancing the petroleum industry, has a choice of simply riding out the decline of oil over the next few decades or seizing the initiative in solar energy.
If the state of Texas were to invest just half of what it voted to invest in the superconducting supercollider, which I might add may turn out to collide only with the federal deficit, it could become the leader of creating a solar tomorrow. Texas could bring a high-tech solar manufacturing industry to the state that would more than offset the decline in the petroleum industry. Such an initiative should include a solar laboratory operated in collaboration with the excellent universities in the state. And building the solar devices would bring new jobs to every community in Texas, large and small. Frankly, there's been a tendency by the energy companies in the past to label solar energy as a joke. If we keep this up, the joke will be on us. We will see the Japanese come in and put photovoltaic cells on our roofs and solar-powered cars on our roads.
The 4-day solar conference was a big success, and solar industry officials say they are optimistic about the future of solar energy.
Finally, congratulations and best wishes to David Freeman and Suzanne Kennedy, who were married March 11th. After the wedding, the happy couple danced off to a San Francisco Lake Tahoe honeymoon. Congratulations from all of us at LCRA.
Well, that's this edition of Wavelength. Thanks for being with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.